Hey guys, Bruce the Budget Aquarist here. I hope you're all doing great. Boy, did I have a rough week. I had a 55-gallon tank that the seam split, leaked water all over, lost a few fish, saved a few fish thanks to my wife who happened to be home when it happened. A few other cool things going on in the fish room to talk about, and we'll review the state of my pleco breeding program that's going on. Having some good successes, having some real odd things happen. So stick around. Thanks so much for watching, and let's get going. All right, guys, first question is, take a look at this male bristlenose pleco here. He's kind of a mottled color, brown, some orange, some tan. Really a good looking fish. But the problem with it is I bred him with a pure albino female. Look at him. And this is what the babies look like. We got albinos, and then we got these plain black plecos with white spots. None of them are that calico sort that he looks like. So it's kind of an interesting thing. I don't think the babies are going to change and look like him as they get older, although anything's possible. It looks like they are just plain albinos and plain brown, or what you would call a black bristlenose. Nothing unusual, no special traits, just the base genetics from the fish. All right, moving on to the bad news. I had a 55-gallon tank break. The glass didn't break, but the seam broke down at the very bottom front. Not a lot I can tell you about it. No idea why. It was on an extremely good platform, well built, heavy, thick wood. No problems, but it came loose right here. The plastic piece here I can actually pull away from the glass, so it's just like the whole thing was somehow affected and under siliconed. But the silicone between the panes of glass is what failed, not the actual piece of glass itself. So sadly, I did lose my largest African leaf fish. I have 3 more, and I've moved them into a 40-gallon breeder that I just went out and bought to replace this 55. Now I'm going to put a 40-gallon breeder, and then to the left of that is going to be a just a 20-gallon that I had ready to be set up. So I'll show that towards the end of the video. But other than that, I have one striped Raphael catfish, and he's not doing real good. But the other leaf fish made it, and they're doing fine. Here's a quick shout out to my wife. Bought me these new lights, 3 of them for my birthday just past May 21st. Want to tell her thank you very much. Was up to some zucchini cooking. If you guys haven't seen my video, watch the whole thing. I'll put a link down in the body for how to blanch zucchini. Why do you want to blanch zucchini? Well, because this stuff will last in your freezer for a long, long time. Take a chip out, throw it in the water. As it thaws, it sinks to the bottom. It doesn't create a big mess like just cutting a slice of zucchini off does. And like I said, you can do a bunch of this, so then it becomes like, algae wafers, pleco chips as I call them. And the fish absolutely love them. So I will put the link in the description to this video. Alright guys, I also have a couple of videos out about how to catch snails. One with my little cup that I use to scrape them off the side of the tank with ease. And then this one that just shows how to use a plastic bottle to make a trap. Collect a lot of them. I keep a lot of snails in one particular tank and just let them breed because I feed them to my yo-yo loach and my clown loaches. They love them, so I take a dozen or so out and throw them in the tank, and they'll eat them right up. I'll put the link in the description also. Okay guys, you may want to keep an eye out for this in your tank. I was recording this Farlowella cat, and watch what happens here. That's right, unwanted, unwarranted kissing And yes, the Farlowella did take it to HR. I love these little cats, but I'm going to tell you, if you buy them from pet stores, buy small ones. They seem to be much more resilient. I had several bigger ones die off and had to return them and ended up getting small ones which are living just fine. That's just what happened to me. Okay, moving on to something else that I noticed, and I always forget to mention this in videos. If you've got a tank that you run a lot of light on to get a lot of plant growth, and you get brown algae, water wisteria, which you see here, is a great plant to move around. It's really tolerant to move around, so you can just grab it by the base, pull it up by the roots, move it over into another tank, bury the roots, and it'll do really well. And what's amazing is if you take this stuff and if you put it into a tank with that brown algae growing, that algae will grow on these plants also, of course. And what you can do then is take it out, and if you have a guppy tank, throw it in your guppy tank, and this is what you'll see. Those guppies will literally pick every bit of that brown algae off that plant, leaving it green and healthy again and ready to go back in the other tank within a day. It's really amazing. Oh, and one more thing about that zucchini. It's great to capture baby plecos if you need to take them to the fish store to sell. As you see here, one scoop, I got 30 of them earlier today, so it works out great for that too. All right, to finish this video off, quick scan of my fish room. And I want to tell you, sadly, the striped Raphael cat did not make it. He died. Didn't think he would. Again, keep in mind that 55-gallon had about an inch of water, maybe less, and we don't know how long. It happened sometime overnight, and I work funny hours. I go into work real early in the morning, so it could have been 6, 7, 8 hours. We're not sure. But anyway, so these are the two tanks we got. This is a 20-gallon on the left, and that's a 40-gallon breeder on the right, and they fit perfectly in the space of that 55. Nothing fancy in here. A couple Julia cats. Love these little critters. And just some generic things. A couple little zebras. A couple of white cloud tetras. My one my one blue opaline gourami there. And that's about it in this tank. Now the new 40-gallon breeder has nothing in it but a pleco and 3 leaf fish, and that's pretty much all it will have in it. But you can see the eye on this fish. It is still cloudy, although it is clearing up. And these two fish, and again, I'm sorry, the glass is a little hazy on the inside. It has not been washed off since I filled it up. But these two are fine, and they look just like the other one. In fact, they all looked way worse. They were in bad shape. I'm guessing they were real close to death. For the first day or so, they laid totally on their side. They wouldn't move. Then they got a little bit better, and then slowly but surely the discoloration on their skin has gone away on the two. So there you go. They're albino male bristlenose. It's their only tank mate for now, and they are eating bloodworms, which they love to do, so that's a real good sign. I'm hoping they make it. Sadly, the striped Raphael catfish did not make it. I found him dead when I went down today, and that's always a shame. He was a beautiful fish, about 5 inches long, and it's sad. I'm really sad to have lost it. So then the last part of this update is on my longfin bristlenose. This is a bristlenose I'm trying to breed and have successfully bred now with an albino female. And there are now babies in there. He's not going to let them out so you can see them. There's one right on the side. You can see it just swimming around there. And these I'll keep for 60 to 90 days or so until they start to show their long fin traits. And it's going to be interesting to see because it's an albino mother and this brown long fin father. It's going to be interesting to see what I get. I'll get browns and whites, I'm sure, browns and albinos, but then it'll be interesting to see how many of them have what I have been told is a dominant trait, which is the long fin trait. So we'll see, and I'll certainly keep you informed on that. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. You know, I don't do this for money. I don't have a business. Not that there's anything wrong with either of those things, but I don't do it for, hits on YouTube to make money or anything like that. So this is indeed just my love. It's my hobby. So I really appreciate being able to share this with somebody other than my wife, who has to hear about my fish all the time. So thanks again so much for checking in. Do me a favor, again, if you're not subscribed, please do. Anybody who subscribes, I will check your channel out, and if it's got fish content, chances are really good I'm going to subscribe right back to you. So that being said, thanks again for watching, and take care.